I'm 72 years old now, and I've been keeping a garden pantry for most of my life. Not the kind of pantry you see in magazines. This is different. This is about storing what you grow, what you preserve, and what keeps you going when the ground freezes or the storms come through. Today, I want to walk you through how I do it, the 20 things I always keep ready, and the lessons I've picked up along the way. Now, I know for some folks, the idea of storing food like this might seem a bit much. Maybe it feels old-fashioned or unnecessary. That's fine. But for me, it's always been part of the rhythm. I grew up doing this. My family kept shelves stocked, jars lined up, bags of beans and rice tucked away. It wasn't about fear. It was about being ready. These days, living where hurricanes roll through every year, and after watching how quickly store shelves emptied not long ago, I knew it was time to take a harder look at what I had. Time to organize it properly, because at the end of the day, I care about the people under this roof. If there's an emergency, an illness, a stretch without work, or a storm that knocks everything sideways, I still want to be able to put food on the table. That's what this is really about. Before I get into the list, let me share how I think about all this. First off, I don't believe in panic. I don't believe in rushing out and clearing shelves because something scared you on the news. That's not the way. What I have here took years to gather, slowly, a little at a time, as I could afford it. If you're just starting, pick up 1 or 2 extra things each time you're at the store. Watch for sales. Be patient. Second thing, store what you actually eat and eat what you store. I learned that early on. There's no point keeping food nobody wants to touch. If your family won't eat it now, they won't eat it later either. I also keep what I call a working pantry. That means I'm always using things, rotating them, replacing them. Nothing just sits there gathering dust. When I bring something new in, the older stuff moves to the front. That way, nothing spoils, nothing gets wasted. I've broken my storage into 3 parts. Short term is anything that lasts 6 months to a year. Medium term is 2 years or more, and long term, that's 5 years and beyond. I've got things that'll keep for 30 years if stored right. No joke. I also keep food in 3 different spots around the house. First is my kitchen pantry. That's for everyday use. Second is what I call my garden pantry. My husband built me some solid shelves in the hallway between the living room and the garage. It stays cool, stays dry, no bugs. Perfect. And then there's the garage, where I keep the long-term storage, plus an old fridge and a small chest freezer. All right, let's get into the 20 things I always keep stocked. These aren't in any special order, but I'm starting with water, because you can't do much without it. FEMA says you need at least 1 gallon per person per day for 3 days minimum. For a household like mine, that adds up fast. So I store it 3 ways. Small bottles that are easy to grab if you need to move quickly, gallon jugs for everyday use, and a good water filter. I use a Berkey. It's not cheap, but it works. If that's too much, a Brita pitcher is a solid backup. Just keep extra filters on hand. Next is drink mixes. If you're filtering your own water, especially in an emergency, it might not taste great. A little flavoring helps. I keep Gatorade powder from the bulk store. It lasts a year on the shelf. Lemonade mix lasts 2 years unopened. Even Tang, which I'm not wild about, but it's loaded with vitamin C. And I've got some big cans of powdered drink mix that'll keep for 10 years. Don't forget hot cocoa. tea, coffee. Small comforts matter. Then there's ready-to-eat meals. These are the things that either come straight out of the package or just need hot water. I keep bags of dried soup from the discount store, cheap, easy. 1 bag serves 8. Canned soups too, Campbell's, Progresso, the kind with meat and vegetables. Those always sell out fast when a storm's coming, so I stock them year-round. They last about 2 years. And boxes of Deluxe mac and cheese, the kind where the cheese is already mixed in. 1 year shelf life, no milk or butter needed. Beans and rice. I know, obvious, but I store them a little differently than most people might. Beans are full of protein and fiber, and they keep forever. I've got small cans in all kinds: black beans, pinto, kidney, chickpeas. Shelf life of 1 to 2 years, easy to toss into anything. I also dry canned some beans myself in mason jars with oxygen absorbers. Those'll last for years. And I've got big number 10 cans that claim a 30-year shelf life. I believe it. Rice is similar. I keep the quick cook pouches for emergencies. Cheap, fast, reliable. Got them at the bulk store for less than $1 each. Little bags of flavored rice from the discount store, too. Had those last 2 years because of how they're sealed. I keep them all together in a food-safe 5-gallon bucket with a tight lid. Keeps everything fresh and organized. And just like the beans, I've got rice in mason jars and number 10 cans. 30-year shelf life on those, too. Fruits and vegetables. For short term, I keep frozen fruit. Picked up bags at the discount grocer, good till 2022 if they stay frozen. Dried fruit, too, raisins, apricots, mango. Unopened, those last 1 to 2 years. Small cans of fruit, big cans of fruit. Doesn't matter much. They both keep about the same. 1 to 2 years. Same with vegetables. I stock what my family actually eats. Carrots, green beans, corn, mixed vegetables, small cans, big cans, all about the same shelf life. I get most of this from the discount grocer or the big box store. Flour. That's something that disappeared from shelves not long ago, and I wasn't about to get caught short. I keep a small container in the kitchen for regular use. If you go through a lot, get yourself a food-grade bucket with a lid. You can buy a big bag from the bulk store and keep the whole thing fresh. For long term, I've got flour in number 10 cans. 10-year shelf life. Other baking supplies, too. Yeast was hard to find for a while, so I ordered extra online. Cost more than it used to, but it'll last. Baking powder, baking soda, pancake mix. Those only keep about a year, so I don't go crazy stocking them. But I keep enough. Pasta and noodles. My family eats a lot of pasta. It's cheap, it lasts, and it fills you up. I stock mac and cheese when it goes on sale. 1 to 2 years shelf life. Ramen noodles, same thing. Super cheap. And then if you throw in some chicken or vegetables, it's a real meal. I keep plain pasta in clear containers to keep it fresh. Boxes of spaghetti, penne, whatever. And for the really long haul, I've got macaroni and spaghetti bits in number 10 cans. Pasta sauce, too. The big jars from the bulk store last about 2 years. Alfredo sauce lasts 1 year. I've got canned tomato sauce and crushed tomatoes in big cans, too, in case I need to make my own. And spices, don't forget those. They don't last forever, but they keep longer than you'd think. I buy the big containers from the bulk store. And salt. You need salt. I like the kind from Utah. Milk. I'm not a fan of powdered milk, so I stock shelf-stable milk from the dollar store instead. Lasts a year unopened. Almond milk, too. Can I keep cans of evaporated milk and sweetened condensed milk on hand? Oatmeal. I've got a big canister of rolled oats. Packets of instant oatmeal, too. Those only last 6 months to a year, but they're handy because you just add hot water. I've got oats in mason jars that'll keep for years, and number 10 cans that claim a 30-year shelf life. By the way, some of those cans you'll see have lids sitting on top. They're not open. I just store the lids with the cans so I don't lose them. Meat. I don't keep much in the freezer right now, but I've got plenty of canned meat. I know some people turn their nose up at it, but if it's canned meat or no meat, I'm taking the canned meat. Vienna sausages, Spam, corned beef hash. I've also got a couple cans of freeze-dried meat, though those are pricey, so I don't have many. Sugar and honey. And I keep a small container of white sugar, some powdered sugar, and I'd like to add brown sugar soon. Sugar lasts practically forever, especially in sealed cans. Honey, too, I've heard people say honey never spoils. I don't know if that's true, but it keeps a long, long time. Oils, olive oil, avocado oil, both last about a year. Coconut oil lasts 2 years. Vegetable oil, too. I rotate through them. Vinegar. I keep several bottles of white vinegar and apple cider vinegar. The apple cider kind has health benefits, makes good salad dressing. White vinegar cleans vegetables, makes cleaner, works in the laundry. Very useful. Potatoes. I stock instant potato packets, less than $1 each, just add water. They last about a year and come in different flavors. I've got canned potatoes too, though they're not my favorite. 2-year shelf life. It's a number 10 cans of potato flakes that'll keep for 30 years. Peanut butter. If you're not allergic, this is a must. Good protein, cheap, lasts a year on the shelf. A couple extras worth mentioning. Cereal. Some boxes last a full year, especially if there's no fruit or nuts in them. Pancake mix, the kind where you just add water. Great for emergencies. 1 to 2 years. That's it. If you made it this far, I hope this gave you some ideas. If you've been doing this yourself, I'd love to hear what's worked for you. I'm always learning. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.